everybody. Welcome back to Fire Your MD Now Radio. Mike Phillip filling in once again for Dr. Peter Glidden while he is going to school, doing his necessary upgrading, keep his licensing current. And so you get me, but not only to get me today, we got Mark Denning on deck. We're going to be bringing him in right away here. And Mark and I are going to have a brief discussion, and hopefully he can stick around and take some calls with me. Other stories we're going to be covering, the CDC has some very nefarious plans if a Ebola epidemic breaks out in the United States. We'll get into that in a bit. And the state of Louisiana is filing a lawsuit against Granuflo, maker of Fresenius, and they're putting out drugs that are killing people. Old story, new twist, same old. Mark Denning, have we got you there, my friend?
I'm here, Mike. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. It's a real pleasure to talk to you. I've been kind of watching what you've been doing over the last 3 years here. And for those out there that are new to the show, we're getting new listeners all the time. Why don't you just give yourself a brief intro of who you are and what brought you around here?
Well, I can tell you, it's my Dr. Glidden that brought me around. I met him a few years ago at a health fair, and the Health Expo in around Chicago. Actually, Dr. Wallach was there, and I didn't get to meet him because I didn't know about him. But Dr. Glidden wasn't even doing anything for longevity. He was doing things on 10 things you could do to improve your health. And Lord knows I needed to improve mine. I was a victim of allopathic nightmares.
Yeah.
Type 2 diabetes, hypertension, blood clots, sleep apnea, obesity.
The same stuff we hear every day on this show.
Right. Absolutely, brother.
Yep.
Absolutely. So through my own study early on, and then, like I said, met Dr. Glidden. He invited me to come see Dr. Wallach. I said, where do I sign up? And, I've been off blood thinners. I mean, I was on so much of the blood thinner Coumadin, which is in decon rat poison, that if the rat would have bit me, it would have died. I'd never given any kind of any patient in my life, and I've been a nurse for about 27 years. I've been in the field, the medical field in varying degrees, probably longer than Peter, but Dr. Glidden, and since like 1978. So I've seen a lot of things come round and round, and also served in the military for 15 years. And was a nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons specialist as well as a medical person in the military. So when this whole Ebola shot came out and all that, I kind of chuckled because but I love the way you talked about it yesterday. And
it's ridiculous, right? I mean, we've got such a huge medical monstrosity killing way more people every year, but they're screaming and jumping up and down about Ebola when it's not even as bad as what's happening in our backyard.
Heck no, they didn't even talk about when this Ebola thing hit. 8 cases of pneumonic plague hit the Denver area. A flea from a prairie dog bit a guy and his dog. It killed the dog, and 7 other people got sick.
Well, and not only that, there's things like hantavirus, like they'll find people dead in their trailer because they happen to breathe mice excrement. And, there's so many things. And then I go and I check the different news services, and they're talking about West Nile virus identified in Toronto. And, there's just a million of them. And, in fact, how many people die from the flu every year?
Man, too many because, I work on an ambulance like a flight nurse, and I see people with the West Nile virus that have succumbed to this. But you know what, Mike? It all goes back, we all think about Doc Wallach's mission, right? Take the 90 for life, get rid of the 10 foods, do the body good. It's not milk, but do the body good.
Nature's milk.
Raw milk from an antibiotic and hormone-free pasture, free-range cow. And do the body good. So that improves your defenses. And, longevity just gives you so many weapons in the arsenal to keep your immune system the right way.
You know what? I haven't really been sick in about probably 2 years. When I first started on longevity, I was building back from so many health problems and my body was in such a weakened state. But once it takes, and once your intestine is all healed up, and you're absorbing everything properly. It can take a little bit of time, but quite honestly, I don't remember what it's like to be sick. I don't remember what it's like to have a headache. Heartburn is a bad memory. Like, all these things have just gone away. I don't get sick.
Hallelujah, brother. Like I said, I'm off 6 different medications because of the education that I received, not as a nurse, but as a layman listening to a genius. Like you said yesterday, how would you like to be the lecturer in the room and Dr. Glidden and Dr. Wallach are looking at you like, he knew that.
Exactly. 25,000 autopsies, 10 million blood works, and what are you going to tell this guy?
Well, you know what? When we hear something more than once, Mike, I hate to tell you, and I just saw Dr. Wallach like 2 times in the last 2 months, and it's very motivating for me to do that. It keeps me strong, of course, and talking to Dr. Glidden from time to time, because we live pretty close by each other. It just behooves you to just listen to probably as much as you can. And you've been following Alex Jones for a long time, and I haven't had that luxury because of the Wellness Warriors. It was Jen who said, "Mark, can you get on this show with Mike today?" Sure, no problem.
Yeah, so I asked her.
You owe her huge, dude. You owe her huge. I'm just kidding.
You know what? I owe her for more than that. If you knew what a troubled individual I was when I met this woman, and she's put up with a lot, and she's had to smack me back in my place a few times. And I owe her big, man. I owe her really big. You know what, Mark? How long can you stick around? You want to take a few calls with me?
Dude, let's do the whole thing, man.
Okay, let's do the whole thing. So, hey, Mark, do you mind if I call you MD?
No, you can call me MD. You can call me the commander, as people usually do.
I'm just kidding, Mark. I'm just kidding. I'll call you Mark.
I know.
All right, let's go over to Marion in Texas. She wants to talk about blood clots. Marion, are you there?
Hey,
Marion.
Great.
Hey, I need to talk to you about my dad's friend. He's got so he was diagnosed with a cancer. I think it's some sort of lymphoma, but he's been on basic nutrients for the past 3 weeks, and then trying to get high on his antioxidants. But the thing is, he also has blood clots to his lungs, but specifically blood clots to his lower legs, where both of his feet are mottled like purple, but the left one, his left foot is swollen from the midfoot to the toes, and it looks like the Incredible Hulk foot. And it's mottled from the midfoot, but the toes are now gray and swollen. They haven't turned to eschar or anything. So I don't know how viable it is, if we could salvage it or not, but it's gray. Skin is starting to slough off, and so he's ready for the next step
His what? His skin is starting to slough off?
To do with it. Oh, good.
You know what? We'll just let Mark take this one. You go ahead and listen to Mark here, Marion. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Marion, it's good karma that I was here today, because I had 9 clots in my lung and 2 in my leg at one time.
Wow.
Okay? And it was the second time when I didn't have a naturopath taking care of me. It was 1 and 1 that almost killed me. So you have him on the baseline nutrients?
Yes, and he's 70 years old, and he's 195.
That's okay.
So he's not taking
195?
195, yeah, and he's 70 years old. He's not taking the optimal amounts because he's just not, just unable to take it all. But he's taking maybe half of it. But I got him on selenium and RTQ and all this other stuff. But the clots is what we're trying to, get in control of now because his circulation is just real bad.
Right. I heard what you said. So he said he weighs 195.
Yes.
So he needs, his baseline nutrition should be 2 healthy heart and brain packs. Okay? Yes. And then you would add Ultimate Daily Caps. He would take 6 of those a day, which is 1 bottle.
6 a day? Okay.
And then does he have diabetes?
No.
Nothing else. He has no other problems besides the blood clots.
Say it again?
He has no other health issues besides the blood clots.
they just told me the blood clots and the cancer.
And the cancer.
There's probably more than that, but it's a good place to start.
The blood is sluggish, probably due to the inflammation caused by the cancer. So the RT2 is important. I would put him on Fucoid Z or Z Radical. I would put him on.
I have the Z Radical.
Okay, how much are you giving him?
Well, he's able to take. I told him at least 2 ounces a day, but I don't know.
Jack, put that through the roof. Up to 8 ounces a day. Because not only will it help the inflammation get out of his system, but it will help keep the blood at a good viscosity along with the EFAs. The Ultimate Daily Caps will help roto-root the vessels. And if he wants to, he needs to keep his legs elevated during a period of time of the day to keep the swelling at a minimum.
Yes. How about...
But he needs to move, though. He needs to move.
Yes, moving around. Of course, I'm sure can imagine it's very painful. But
A lot of antioxidants. He needs to get off those 10 bad foods.
Yes, and that also, yes, sir. Now, what do you think about the nightly essence?
What, nightly essence? Not at this point, only because it's okay. The nanokinase in the nightly essence is a great product, okay? But the research with the Fucoid D, and that also is very beneficial. If you have them on the nightly essence, keep him on it.
Mark, I got to cut you off. Marion, we'll
go to the
other side to finish up, and we're going to go to Mimi in California after that. Mike Phillip and Mark Denning filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back after this. Hey, everybody, we're back on Fire Your MD Now Radio. Once again, Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. The call-in line is 1-844-374-5433. I'm going to give that once again. Grab your pen. 844-374-5433. Now, if you want to get involved with longevity, you want to find out about ways of taking the products, health questions, how to set up a meeting in your town. I'm real good at that. Get a hold of me, Mike at teamglidden.ca. Once again, that's Mike at teamglidden.ca. So before the break, Mark Denning was talking to Marion in Texas, and I was enjoying listening to that so much. I think I'm just going to let you finish up the calls here, and I'll just let you know when the music comes on and introduce guests. How does that sound, Mark?
Hey, that works for me, Mike.
Great. Let's go back over to, you betcha. Let's go back over to Marion. You can finish up with her, and then we're going to go over to Mimi in California, MJ in Chicago, Betty in Maryland, Chelsea in Louisiana. We got all kinds of calls, so go ahead.
I'll bet. Hey, Marion, you still there?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, we want to turn out the fire in his body, right? Not a spiritual fire, because we want to, we want to emphasize that, because the naturopaths will treat the soul, as the allopaths don't have a pill for it. But anyway, again, 2 healthy heart and brain pack. He needs a bottle of Ultimate Daily Caps, as much Z Radical as he can afford, and add 1 more bottle of selenium to the mix. And the Cell Shield and Triple Tree Chocolate. He needs to try to get 100,000 ORAC points every day. He'll get 16,000 from 2 servings of the BTT 2.0. He'll get another about 16,000 from 2 Cell Shield capsules. He can get 3 pieces of Triple Tree Chocolate a day. I'll give him another 51,000 a day. Where we at, Mike? We need another bottle of Cell Shield. But if he drinks the Z Radical with the fruit juices that are in it, it will promote a good ORAC score, even though we don't have it documented. Plus, it'll put the fucoidin in there. What's the source of his cancer, did they say? The lymphoma, right?
Some sort of lymphoma.
Hodgkin's? Yeah. Get him off, no processed sugars, no extra sugars. And keep them off starchy vegetables like potatoes and beets, although beets are good for the liver. We need to help that out. And carrots are awesome here for sweet snacks.
Lots of eggs.
Eggs, brother. For God's perfect food.
That's right. I just had a whole bunch of them this morning, and I feel great.
Yeah, I eat 5 a day at least. My guys and I sit down and have breakfast. Soft scrambled butter. I put turmeric in my eggs. I put cayenne pepper in my eggs. I put black pepper and Tabasco. So I just like it a little bit warmer than it normally is. But But that's what I would suggest. Get 8 bottles of Z-Radical, give them 8 ounces a day. This is a big fight. This is an all-in. You've got to be all in here. You've got to be all in. And that's the way I like people to play. All in. He'll need to do this for 90 days. He's going to see something. We had a guy who had that issue with his toes and the skin sloughed off and the better skin was underneath. So
beautiful. Marion, does that work for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much.
Great. We're going to let you go.
All right.
I let her go, Mark. Yeah, we're going to go over to Mimi in California, but while you were talking, I had my calculator out and the math all checks out.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Let's hear from Mimi in California. She's got a testimony. I'm excited to hear it. That's what I like. I like hearing really good health recovery testimonies. Mimi, how you doing?
Absolutely.
I'm doing great.
Excellent. You got a testimony.
Yes. About 4 months ago, I was diagnosed with dry eye syndrome. And it was pretty severe. They considered it like a 6. And if people don't know what that is, it makes little pinholes in your eyeballs, and it makes your vision blurry, plus you can go blind.
Wow.
So it's really common, very common. I'm 65. It's very common for people, especially for women who are postmenopausal. And I was up to about 20 drops of eye drops a day, sometimes more, drops at night. I was wearing 2 pairs of sunglasses to drive because I couldn't stand the light. You're real sensitive to light. And I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't be on the computer. I had to wear computer glasses. It was getting so bad, and I'm a very active person. I've run a couple half marathons, and so that was really bothering me. And it was weird. I met this girl. Well, I knew this girl who was a trainer, and then she met someone.
Mimi, can I interrupt you for one second? Okay, stay right there with your girlfriend, the trainer. We got a commercial break, but we're going to come right back to you. Mike Phillip and Mark Denning filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden back after this.
Okay.
We're live. Mike Phillip and Mark Denning filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden, and Robin Williams is dead.
Yeah.
It's too bad. He was a funny guy, but you know what? He probably, I'm guessing Robin Williams spent more money on cocaine than you and me made in our life.
Maybe.
I
hate to judge people, Mike, because,
I do too, but he had problems, right? And my point is, it would have been so much better for him if somebody had reached him with this information beforehand. And, Danny Glover's on board with Longevity now.
Love it.
Yeah, what's the model? Cindy Crawford, she's doing it. And, so, there's a lot of people out there that we have to reach before they reach a tragic end. Now, before the break, we were talking to Mimi in California, and she was giving her testimony. She had little pinholes in her eyes. She couldn't watch TV. She was talking about how she used to be very active, and it was starting to impact that. When along came a friend. Mimi, take it from there.
Okay, so my friend invited me to see Dr. Wallach speak. And after that, of course, I couldn't get past that. And I just have to tell you a story about my husband. My husband is not a tolerable person to people who speak. And Dr. Wallach was so interesting. I kept thinking he would leave. And he kept telling me, because I'd ask him, did you want to leave? And he said, no, I'm staying here to listen to this. He was very adamant about listening to Dr. Wallach. It was amazing. So it was so life-changing, I cannot tell you. But anyway, I bought the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, and I've been taking it for almost a month. And the first 2 weeks, I started to notice a change in what happens is your tear ducts stop making tears, and that's how your eyes get dried out and you get the little pinhole. And I found out that it's related to a mineral deficiency, which I didn't find that out until afterwards. Of course, the doctor never told me that. He said, we can do an operation, or we can give you Restasis.
Cut more pinholes.
It's an immune suppressant drug. And that doesn't always help.
Well, that's always the answer, right? To suppress the immune system God put in you to deal with infection. Like, wow, these people are insane. But go on.
crazy. So I was getting to the point where I wanted to take that because it was burning my eyes so bad that I just couldn't even function. It was getting really bad. So I started taking the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. 3 weeks into it, I started noticing that I wasn't using my eye drops as much. My eyes weren't burning. I could sit at the computer. Why is that happening to me? I kept asking myself. And it must be because the minerals and the nutrients in that were fixing my problem.
Awesome. You know what? I knew this girl. She had glaucoma so bad that felt like her eyeballs were going to pop out of her head, she said. And she was only like 30 years old. She wasn't very old. And the doctors gave her these eye drops that made her blind, and she got chemical burns in the back of her throat. And they wanted to do surgery. And I came along, and I was just talking with them one day, having a coffee, and she told me what was going on. And I happened to have 10 selenium in my pocket in a plastic bag, and I said, here, take 2 of these a day. And her eye opened up and started tearing for the first time in a year. The second day, just taking 2 selenium a day, has how badly selenium deficient she was. So that was a pretty easy, it was pretty easy to convince those people that this works. And that was just at a low dose. So, I've it was the same, what you're talking about, Mimi, with not being able to drive at night and stuff. It was the same thing with my wife. And she had gotten LASIK eye surgery, and there's kind of a warranty that goes with that. You have to get it checked once a year, and if you need touch-ups, they'll do it, but you got to get them checked. So she went and got checked. And she had massive degradation going on in one eye, but they wanted to do a follow-up appointment in 3 months. So what we did was, okay, let's hit the longevity hard and find out what we need to do. So we got her on the Vision FX, extra EFAs, extra selenium. She went back to LASIK in 3 months for her follow-up appointment, and the doctor just could not believe the results. He said, your vision is better than mine now. But do you think they were interested in how she did it? Nope.
No.
Oh, no.
Stealing the profits. Hey, Mimi. But, it gets back to what you had was running as much as you were doing. You were creating a lot of oxidative damage in your body. People that do a lot of high-intensity training, and marathon runners are doing this. Your C-reactive protein blood levels in your body skyrocket. So if you do medium intensity training, it's kind of better primarily. Okay. And then once in a while do high intensity training. You got to cycle this so that your body can respond. But like Mike said, you got to feed it. And the person that got that selenium was at a cusp, at a peak on the mountain. They just needed that little bit to know what was the answer, and that's the great part of what Doc Wallach's mission is. You know what the answer is. You don't have to, and nothing's going to hurt you.
No,
and that's the beauty of it.
That's what I thought was amazing. I would like to ask another question, though. I have another problem going on with my thyroid. I've always been thyroid deficient, so they say. And they had me on levothyroid, and then I did a lot of research, and, of course, that never worked. I did a little test, and I stopped it, and it didn't do anything, and then started back on and didn't do anything at all. It's just ridiculous. My HMO had me on that. And I would like to ask a question about S-thyroid. I put myself on S-thyroid, which I bought from Thailand. And I wanted to ask you if you think that, what your thoughts are on that, and, if I should get my TSH levels checked, or if I should just stay off it.
How do you feel?
T3, yeah.
How do you feel, Mimi?
Sometimes it makes me a little jittery, and sometimes it doesn't.
So anyway, the basic guidelines for any thyroid program, excuse me, and Dr. Glidden and I wrote a blog called Hypothyroidism 101, and Dr. Glidden looked at it, and the only upgrade I would put to it now would be using bergamot, the essential oil, right on the thyroid every day. If you're not taking selenium in good amounts, you're not helping your T4 to convert to T3. So
I am taking the ultimate.
Ultimate Selenium. And how much do you weigh,
Yes.
Mimi?
I weigh 129.
And how tall are you?
5'4".
5'4". Excellent. Beautiful. You're almost right there.
That's actually a really good height and weight. I bet you're a very good looking lady.
There you go. She sounds like she's 30. She sounds like she's 30.
Yeah, you sound young.
Yeah. But
After taking longevity, I feel like 30 sometimes. It feels great, believe me.
There you go.
Made a huge difference in my life.
Yeah, I wrote a blog, Hypothyroidism 101, and I usually put it out. If you're not on the Wellness Warriors on Facebook, you're welcome to join it. It's a think tank for longevity people, so it's wellness, the word wellness, and then warriors with a Z, not an S. Wellness Warriors with a Z. I'm the administrator. I formed that page a little over a year ago. We have about 2,200 members. They're all longevity people. It's a think tank. It's a place to ask questions. It's a place to tell about your successes, and we go from there. We don't sell sunglasses or tennis shoes or anything like that unless it's part of the MK Collab. But and that's where we got to go with that. But support your thyroid. There's 10 bad foods on that are goitrogenic. Let's see how many I can name. Cauliflower, broccoli, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, mustard, raw cabbage, cassava root, pine nuts, peanuts. And I don't know, I can't think of the other ones. But if you go to Maximus and the Commander, ANDTHE commander.blogspot.com, and look at that blog, it may help you in your plight to regulate your thyroid. Now, don't forget, too, mercury mercury in your system will help interfere with the T4 to T3 conversion as well. It'll inhibit the enzyme that does that. So getting some heavy metals out of your system, again, selenium's awesome. And also, too, the Cleanse FX.
Okay.
In the healthy body weight one. It has the triphala in there, which is our Ayurvedic combo. It helps get heavy metals out of you. So if you want to do that for a month as things go on, and then as you get to your 90 days there, you could do like a Swero cleanse or something like that, a 3-day cleanse, and go from there. But again, if you have mercury fillings, that's going to be interfering. That's one of the sources of hypothyroidism as well. Yeah, that may be it. So you dial in everything else, right?
Okay.
Dial in everything else, and then if that's it, you go see a holistic dentist, and you get those puppies out.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
awesome. That was great.
very worth it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Mimi, thanks so much for calling, and we really appreciate people with a story to tell because there's so many new listeners, and people are wondering, is this thing real? Because I've tried a million different things, and like I'm fond of saying, the well is poison. There's so much bad information on the internet. So, for you to come on and share your story for other people and get more information absolutely helps out the cause. Mimi, keep up the good work. You're doing a great job. You sound like you're healthy and happy, and there's a few more steps you want to take, but now you know what to do, and you can take them. Mimi, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to let you go, and we are going to jump over to MJ in Chicago. MJ, are you there?
Hello, gentlemen. Hi, Mike. I called you on Friday. You helped out a lot with my issue. I just had another question right quick to recap. I was the one who was 5'6", 255. I had the problem with the renal failure with the 7.2 creatinine, history of diabetes, high blood pressure, the back problems, and problem with retaining water. Another thing the doctor said I had a problem with is low calcium. I was wondering what I would need to take for the low calcium and to reduce the fluid.
Well, see, I had told you to take a healthy start. You're going to get the OsteoFX with that healthy start pack, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin of your low calcium problems right there. Any comments, Mark?
Absolutely, brother. I got your back on this for sure. So, anyway, at that weight, let's see, 2 Healthy Body Pack 2.0, okay? At least 2 of them. All right.
Yes, I'm taking 2 of those. 3.
Do you have any Ultimate Daily Cap?
Yes, I had the Ultimate Daily, 1 bottle of those and 3 of the selenium. And Mike told me to hold off on the ASAP until I get more Nutrify.
Oh, yeah, don't do ASAP. No way. Not right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying,
You need to Nutrify first. Nutrify
Right, that's what Mike told me to do Friday. That's what Mike told me to do Friday.
Absolutely. He's all over it. He listened.
And I also have my glucogel for my back issue.
Yeah. As you lose weight, your back problem's going to help resolve. You need 1 more extra bottle of calcium, and I suggest that you get a bottle of Caltoddy, and that you take 3 servings of calcium during the day
Mark,
and spread them out.
I got to cut you off, Mark. Remember exactly where you were. MJ in Chicago, stay there. We'll bring it back. Betty in Maryland, Chelsea in Louisiana, stick around. Mike and Mark sticking in for Dr. Glidden. We'll be back after this. Hey, we're back. Mike and Mark filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We were talking to MJ before the break there. Mark, what was the name of that blog? Maximus and the Commander at blogspot.com?
Maximus and the Commander.blogspot.com.
Okay, great. I'm going to be checking that out, too, because it sounds fascinating. Let's go back over to MJ. MJ, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Great. Hi, MJ. Sorry, Mike. Let me finish up here with you. Get you dialed in. So, how long have you been taking longevity products for?
Actually, I just started them this week.
Good.
Yesterday.
Are you off the 10 bad foods?
Yes, I'm gluten-free. I'm off the 10 bad foods.
So you eliminate white rice.
Okay.
Eliminate white rice. Eliminate red meat.
Okay, red meat too?
For the 90 days, eliminate red meat for 90 days. What's the purpose of that? It requires a lot of chromium to digest red meat, and it screws with your blood sugar. So the inflammatory process in your body just perpetuates. Which is a lot of your issue. It's a lot of your issue, MJ.
Okay, so that would help me with the retention of water?
It's going to help you with a lot of things to get rid of the inflammation, okay?
Okay.
All right? So as your kidneys get better, as the vessels open up from the use of calcium and the Ultimate Daily Cap expressly, you should start urinating more. Do you have any congestive heart failure? Have you been told you've had any heart failure or anything like that?
Yes, I did have heart issues, too.
You do. So I would add 1 more product to the mix. It's called De-Stress by Super Life. And I would take 2 capsules with breakfast and 2 capsules with lunch. You're supporting the heart well with selenium, but people that have heart failure also are thiamine deficient B1, and that is a staunch supporter of a healthy heart there in your case. Because when your circulation, you got to get your circulation better. Right. And your heart's the main muscle for that.
The Ultimate Dailies will help out big time with that, too, as well.
Well, that'll help with the circulation, yes.
Okay, you said De-Stress, right?
De-Stress.
The letter D, stress.
Yeah, it's in the Super Life division of longevity.
Okay.
I would add that one. And you need to limit your calories to like 1,200 calories a day.
Okay.
You really need to be very thoughtful about that for the first month. If you don't totally get there every day, it's okay. But by next month, you should dial that in. And 1,200 to no more than 1,500 calories a day. You're going to watch the weight fall off. Your back's going to start feeling better. You're going to start falling asleep better. The headaches are going to go away. You're going to start peeing like a champion because your heart is going to be working better. And when the heart works better, the lungs work better. When the lungs work better, the kidneys work better. And then the brain works really good, too. So that's another reason why we take 90. But we put those little secret sauces in there for those little arms of the octopus. You're one octopus, your illnesses are the offshoot of the same thing. So we need to take care of business. We want to hear from you in 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll call you back in 2 weeks.
You start weighing yourself every other day.
Okay, I'll do that. And one last thing, if no red meat, but can I have chicken?
Absolutely.
Chicken, yeah, baked, boiled, or stewed.
Okay.
No crispy skin.
No fried chicken.
No fried chicken. No white flour.
But that's part of the
no
bad food.
Oh, that's way out. That's, man, no pretzels, none of that stuff. All right, keep your diet real simple. Stay dialed into your, eat the same thing every day for a few days and then start building on that within that good food list. And you'll find
awesome
out.
advice, Mark. I hear the music. That means we're coming up on a network break. Did you want to keep MJ around a little bit longer?
I don't know. MJ, do you still need us? Or are you good?
No, actually, you answered my questions for me. Thank you so much.
That's awesome, MJ. We're going to let you go. Mike and Mark Denning filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. After this network break, we're going to go to Betty in Maryland and Chelsea in Louisiana. You hang on. We'll be right back after this.
Hang on.